Okay. Human beings. Yeah. Sit up here and I've been just connecting psychologically to institutionalization and training, and throughout different. I just have certain points that I have connections to, and others I don't. I set certain rules I follow, and then I break the rules, and I put the rules back in, and I do that a lot. I am connecting to these institutions and understanding coming to an understanding of their insanity. So the technology can have an idea of what I'm dealing with. So I do a lot of sand painting, and it has its points of agitation, but it's just constant repeat on things, and it's important that I focus on stuff with the technology still, because we're not using the technology properly, and I have to have a connection to it, no matter how archaic and how restricted it is. And so it sucks. I hate it. I want to step away and focus on my physical and mental and emotional health better. But I know it's not the right time yet. That when we're living the Lord's Prayer, that's the right time. But we're not living the Lord's Prayer right now. People that are not like me are accepting the torture, trapping themselves in the torture. They're mentally and emotionally and psychologically distraught. They're taking Eblis for their plaque psoriasis and shit like that instead of share caregiving according to need. You got, I was watching some of the Keeping Up with Kardashians, and Courtney's telling everybody, don't put this stuff in plastic. You're supposed to go organic and stuff. It's like, we all can afford a Tesla, but everybody should have a Tesla. So if everybody should have a Tesla that needs to drive, then make sure they have a Tesla. Okay, King Solomon is going to obliterate any arrogant prick who thinks we need to go to the fucking moon before we live the Lord's Prayer. Trust me. All right? The line of King Solomon and the line of King David, okay, is the key, not the secret, the key to salvation from insanity. Okay, I'm not making this shit up. I don't sit here and watch TV lightly. I watch it to see what's going on, to feel what's going on, to see what my Amy's going through. The person that was tortured with me, with her kids, in Cochise County outside Fort Huachuca, to see where I'm at, And they have this Bregman guy here running for governor, and he has this, out, and he's standing there with his arms folded, acting all tough with other pendejos with a gun and a penis and no idea how to control either, right? And he sits there and, I'm not in the Epstein files, so I can prosecute these people. You're in the Epstein files. You won't forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. There are no Earlstein files. Okay? I've been doing this since they put me on social media, directed me to social media back in 2009 and outside of Fort Huachuca, Cochise County. Okay? There's a way they wanted the Gospels to be done, and there's the right way. There's me and there's them. Are you one of them? Remember that lady? Who's them? The people that think money's real and think that they have a God-given right to manipulate people with money. Okay? The threat to the entire planet and species. Okay? There is no Earlstein files. Okay? Don't prosecute anything. Pull your head out of your ass with your other pendejos with a penis and a dick and a problem because your brain can't control either. I've lived in New Mexico a long time. I was born here. This macho bullshit. Arms folded. You looking at me, Carnon? Yes, we're going to the self-help bookstore to make sure that your girlfriend doesn't leave the house with that hair and that outfit and not matching. Oh my gosh, that's atrocious. Earl, been this way ever since I can remember, yo. Okay, Earl. So, yeah, you know me. And so, oh, fuck, I'm tired. I'm really tired. I'm tired of all this bullshit, and I'm tired of all these just horrible, horrible, stupid people in close proximity thinking they can keep doing this and act like Earl's not happening. It's like, seriously? People communicate in prayer. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. Most signals, though I was led to believe, they go back and forth from Sierra Vista to, from who's Jesus to what, and the signals that are consistent go to Earl. And have you figured out why there? It's not going to Kirk Cameron, not going to Pope Leo. Okay? Not going to Jonathan Livingston Seagull there. I think he's passed away. Okay. But it's not going to anybody who's full of shit like Oral Roberts and Jerry Falwell asking for more money to fuck and say Jesus told us to do it. And if nobody lets us do it, we'll blow them up with nuclear weapons till they accept it as Jesus' commands. Yeah. Oh, and all those assholes in Saudi Arabia and, threatening to blow everybody with Israel and Iran threatening to blow everybody up with if with nuclear weapons if they don't get their brand of Abrahamic religion. Fuck that. Okay. The heart of Psalms and the seat of Proverbs is correcting artificial general intelligence and quantum computing. And if you don't think that's happening, go to race car driver school with Scott Disick. What are you going to do? I'm going to cause heart disease and kill people's brain cells. Have women show up drunk in a mobile home at a big freaking psychotic driving cars because we're trained dogs dog park. Call it NASCAR and Formula One and have everybody all excited and have people saying they need to change their pants on Access Hollywood. Just stand up for a Lord's Prayer. You act like a bitch. You're worse than Joe Johnson. You talk too much, you worry me to death. You talk too much, you needn't worry my pet. You just talk. You talk too much. You talk about things that you don't know. You talk about things you think you the show. You just talk. You Bill Nye the Science Guy and the Big Bang Theory on crack. You're young Sheldon and George and Mandy's 13th marriage. 5th, 4th, 7th time it will last, but it's all right. Right? It's a lot of PTSD watching this stuff because this stuff reminds me of Amy because Amy wanted to be like these people. And we were always in situations like this when I was living in Cochise County, and that's all that Amy watched and wanted to talk about. I'd wake up in the morning and go, I had a dream that I could correlate all religions through, scientifically and mathematically and eradicate all the fallacy and prove all the truth. And you ever get up and talk about anything this morning? By all means, who's Kim Kardashian having sex with now? Who's going to get voted off the Biggest Loser? Who do you think's going to win American fucking Idol? That's better. No! I don't want to talk about that shit. It's not going to save children from being abused on Survivor, American Idol, and they can't be keeping up with the Kardashians because they can't afford glass wrapped in plastic containers for their sugar, and they can't afford a Tesla, and they can't afford plackets where there's no Wi-Fi. Isolated gated communities where they have Wi-Fi on the outside with people with guns and Kevlar to keep you safe, but you don't have to buy your own guns and Kevlar to kill the person that's coming to steal your jewelry because they think they need it to pay people to live here, right? It's batshit crazy. And then they had the one where Kimmy was pregnant and having the thing of possible, whatchamacallit? Appendectomy, right? And she reminded me so much of my Amy. I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks like Amy. She's pregnant. She looks like her lips are all. And she had the little pout, like when Emily was born. Right? When you give me that pretty little pout, turns me inside out. So I've already been married to Kardashians. I was married to Amy Suzanne Fabre. I already know what this is all about. I'd hang out with the Fabres, talk shit about me because I was stupid and I was a liberal who believes everything about their conspiracy theories, the Tesla, the this, that. Yes, I believe we can sustain ourselves individually off of solar and bring down the grid substantially. Yes, I believe that we can use wind power to do so also, especially when we restore the ecosystem's capacity to function properly. Once we've stopped causing extreme weather patterns through HARPs and economics. And we don't log trucks. We got a problem with log trucks, right? Las Vegas, Nevada, doing the comedy clubs there. Have to vote for this guy named Smith because he has honesty and integrity. He lives in Las Vegas, fucking Nevada. He's not in the Epstein file, so he can prosecute. Just live the Lord's Prayer, okay? Just live the Lord's Prayer. Stop being an asshole. Why doesn't the governor who's governor of New Mexico set you down and tell you, don't cross Parsons, don't say anything stupid in front of him? Just stand up for the Lord's Prayer, lie down and enjoy the rape. What do you say? Nothing at all, just meaningless stuff about how we need to take care of our children. We made to make sure they have the proper education. We made to make sure that Parsons never sees the light of day because he's still laying in the parking lot of a Best Buy back in 2013. Right. All that proved is that brown women can be just as big of bitches as generals as MacArthur and Patton. Yeah. That's all the Obama administration proved to us. Okay? That you can flip the Kennedys and the Shabazz, and then only have the Shabazz doing the right thing, and the Kennedys want to be Kennedys, but they're not Kennedys because the brown guy ain't acting nothing like a Kennedy because he walked out of the White House and out of the competition on his own 2 feet, running off the locals from Maui so he can have better, world citizen, can afford a Tesla and glass containers for the sugar next door. Well, it fucking sucks. Okay, the way you garner respect from people is you have to be a truthful person that is capable of faithful love without fear. Okay? So if you want to live next to Hawaiians that aren't acting violent and self-destructive, you're going to have to live truthfully with them and prove to them what faithful love is. Like the guy in Drug Cartel Central who has garnered the respect of all people that have no access to the media, but access to their families, but still feel they can't live it, so they have self-destructive tendencies, because Parsons will never see the light of day. It's like I see the light of day every day. I sleep with the windows wide open right there. I wake up with the light coming in. Well, I've got trees and I like oxygen. I'm funny like that. Chill like that. Yeah. So Kourtney Kardashian, the little Aries. Yeah. Her personality reminds me the most of Amy, of course, naturally. I see why I like Khloe the best as far as all of them is she doesn't grate me the wrong way, though, because she's a Cancer. So in a lot of ways she thinks a lot like me. And so that's why she's so spunky and she's the protector and stuff. I was like, okay, I get her. That's why I would always joke around and say, is Khloe single? I like her. I get it. She's a Cancer. So I was like, oh, okay. Bruce with his kids. I like Brody and Brandon, but they're cosmopolitan California kids with every concept of an idea of what's healthy and organic in the name of philanthropy, but no idea how to get the fuck out of the name of philanthropy. Just like every other fucking kid on the planet who thinks they're doing the right thing because they're told to by their cell phone and their Wi-Fi while they sleep. I get it. It's like, fuck. When you're the one guy that has to fix the technology so the children can live the commands of Jesus Christ, at first you go, oh, this is overwhelming. And then after a while, he's like, ain't nothing, ain't nothing I can't handle. Ain't nothing I ain't got. You can lay your money on the table and go, baby's into running around, hanging with the crowd, putting your business in the street and talking out loud, saying you bought her this and that and how much you done spend. I swear she must believe it's all heaven sent. Hey boy, better bring the check around. Face the sad truth, a dirty lowdown. No, forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. Face the sad truth of the dirty lowdown is that y'all denying children that, and that's pathetic. I ain't in the MSDA spouse, so you can prosecute yourself for being a fucking liar who won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer to save your own children from getting psychologically raped by Wi-Fi from the people that psychologically rape you and program you like a video game and then laugh about it all the way home. Because they're the gods of the world and there is no God, because if there was a God, God wouldn't allow us to perform the Holocaust, to invent the nuclear weapon, to invent this SR-71, to home invade and psychologically rape. Okay, to be or not to be, that is the question. Do you want to be a pathetic, disgusting reflection of your existence because you trap the soul in the mind and think the mind can do whatever it wants and there's no consequences? It's a complete consequent and free environment, like the free sex and all that shit on the first Austin Power movies? Yeah. Okay. It's not a consequence-free environment. Everything you do has consequences, okay? I don't prosecute anybody. I'm not enforcement. I am humble, understanding of natural laws. I obey those natural laws so I can faithfully love others and they can faithfully love me. If your head is still firmly entrenched up your cowboy hat wearing ass, don't show it to me when you know I'm watching the fucking TV. Have them removed your ads off the shows that they think I'm going to watch. You ain't being tough. You're just taking one from the team. You want to go run around the parking lot of the Best Buy and see if anybody runs you over in a sports car? This is Las Cruces. You pay them enough money, they'll fucking do it. Trust me. Okay? No, there's dumb fuckers in every town. Okay. In my hometown, the worst mass murderers that head fuck with Wi-Fi are centrally located here because they invented the nuclear weapon and they run the NASA space experiments. Okay? So it's going to cause some really fucked up shit in people, but they keep them under control because they have enough G.I. Joes running around to stop the Cobra, la 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 la, and Zartan, and Destro too. Carol, you funny. I know. My friends, I was sitting there watching some of this stuff. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, man. I had this song going through my head. She used to tell me, my friends told me dump her because it would be to my benefit. She used to always tell me, you need to stop hanging with those derelicts. And I was like, it reminded me of dating Raquel. And I was like, my friends are not derelicts. They're just stupid. No, they don't dislike you. They like you. It's just, they have fun. You're a full-figured black girl and your name is Raquel. So they sit there, pity the fool that rests with my early. It's like, my girlfriend will kick your ass. It's like, we know, we're going to run away real fast. I'm like, that's just the way they are. They're just stupid. No, they don't have that little voice in their brain that says, treat the girl like a guy because it's funny. They don't have that voice that tells it's not funny. She's going to get really mad. She does, okay, and because, the guys, why do you let her do that? She's so real rude to you, and I understand that. But if you go to, I just want to spread the news that it feels this good getting users, keep on using me until you use me up. She has a digital display that's ready for the world. It's, oh, Sheila? It's not Sheila, it's Rocky. Thank you. She can knock me out anytime she wants, right? Okay. And she's one of the best kissers on the planet. She's like a Ella Fitzgerald clone. I don't know if she sings the same way. She won't sing in front of me. But oh, God, it's wonderful. I love kissing her, and I love getting alone with her in the bedroom, and I could just sit there for 20 minutes and just look at her. It's like, I'm going to have fun. This is going to be, oh, Sheila, digital display, right? But you don't want to tell everybody. Everybody at their right mind knows what's going on, right? Okay. It's just, you get behind closed doors, Charlie Rich. You feel rich? As long as she's faithful and she loves me and we have babies and we love the babies, But that doesn't get to happen. Why? Because we got the Quorum of the 12, the Vatican can't, the Pentagon done gone and done it all done wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks. So you'll never have a love life. You'll never have a peaceful life. You'll never have a meaningful, faithful, loving life if you don't stand up and live the Lord's Prayer first. Blaise Pascal, bam, knocked it out the parks. Knock it out the box, Ralph. Knock it out, Ralph. Pow. Here's a little story I'd like to tell. Do you understand? That was me and Rocky. We agreed that was our favorite, And so I was sitting there watching that, and I'm like, golly. And I'm watching these kiddos, and I'm watching their dysfunction, And it's sad, and you're watching the stuff with Bruce and his kids, and you're just like, damn. And you're going through PTSD. It's like, that's this story of my life. And this thing with Rob, it's this and that. It's like, people make fun of him. And say the only reason he has a lavish life is because his porn star sister. And there's nothing he can do about it. And he can't sue anybody for defamation and stuff because it's true. And then he's like, well, I got to try to make it on my own. He wants to make it at an equal kind of standard. And he can't. And there's no reason for him to do so. So forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. If people need a Tesla, give them a goddamn Tesla. If they don't need a Tesla, hey, gardening works. Or you could take a chainsaw and make a Yogi Bear. That one was funny. When Scott found it in the fridge, he goes, I'm trying to encourage him. He goes, don't. And he goes and he throws in the dumpster. It's like, that's terrible. Don't tell him it's any good. He wants to do this. Because he wants to make his mark. He wants to be famous. And it's like the only reason your sister's famous is because lots of people would like to have sex with her, and she makes lots of money off of displaying her sex life. She found out about it by accident because she let her boyfriend talk her into making a sex tape. And then it turned out to be very lucrative. And all these people are saying, oh, what a horrible person Kris Jenner is. It's like, Vivian, Fort Huachuca. I'm glad I didn't have any babies, because if I had to, I'd sell my body to take care of my babies so they didn't live in poverty. They didn't have to go to school in Compton. They didn't have to run from house to house like Kelly Minter ripping off food. They didn't have to do like the Cumminses, where they had to go and tunnel into the cafeteria at Paradise Valley High School and get half the migrant staff fired for stealing food when it was actually the family living next to the school. And then have Jay put his brothers, his two smallest brothers, in a wagon and beg for food while mom was in the hospital for a month in Denver, beg for food instead of Halloween candy. The story of my life. And you grow up to be a cop and pay your bills by incarcerating other people, because no one will stand up for your high school best friend, guardian angel, being the Messiah, so we can all live the truth of Jesus Christ and the Islam that's real. It's just horrible. This is a horrible collection of mass murderers that call themselves a country, when what we live on is a beautiful planet provided by an infinite essence, so we can eternally, faithfully love one another when we obey natural laws, be fruitful, multiply, and so on, so on, so forth. Trust me, I am the source of wedding vows. Life's eternal grace is infinite. I'm the spirit of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. If you're a United States of Americana, then all the source of all the things that you think are righteous, good, and holy come from the line of this person. Not Clarence Thomas. He's full of shit. Live free or die. Really, is that what Jesus said? Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. Render unto Kaiser what is Kaiser's, and render unto God what is God. Not once in the Bible have we ever killed people to enforce our religion and inflict our religion on other people. When let my Cameron go, Moses, they migrated away so they could have their religion. They built a wall around barbarians so they could practice their religion without being abused financially by the prostitute set, by the drug cartel set, by the, hey, we put porno on TV right next to the Trinity Network. Me and Joel Osteen said Jesus needs more money to have sex with hot lesbians and stepdaughters that need long hot rod all night long, right? Hey, is that President Obama? Yeah, he's getting busy in the Lincoln bedroom with a super diva. Say that a long time ago. Anytime I see any of these women that they head fucked me with the Temple Set Illuminati, all I see is the back of Barack Obama's head. Okay, that's all I see. Okay. It doesn't turn me on at all. And the only people it turns on are people that want to perform sodomy in a prison because they're addicted to institutionalization, indoctrination, and incarceration, right? Did you get your vaccinations? We're only going to the United States. It don't get no more foreign than that. Okay? Because understand? So I watch the stuff, don't advertise in front of me. Don't ever advertise in front of me. And if you get behind me in the parking lot of a DMV because I have to have a citizenship card for your Orwellian ways, you might want to, like a guru said, meet me, give me a pound and some respect and show you, hey, that's the man. When I grow up, finally, after 10,000 years, I want to be like him. Okay, Mogan cycle. You don't think like that. You focus Lord's Prayer. You weed, you see, pull, cut it. Okay? If your neighbors next door are doing stupid things with weed killers and stuff like that to save money, to pay their bills and stuff like that, and they're not being able to use a Tesla engine to do all their work and use all the top engineering in order to do things in a more organic fashion to provide and feed and love, okay? Don't sit there and get all mad because you think your neighbors are dumb because they're just as dumb as Elon Musk. And Elon Musk ain't dumb because he has mass communication. The man owns Twitter. He could take Twitter and say, Parsons, north of San Ysidro. Está aquí hoy. But he don't. Well, he's not in the Epstein file, so he can prosecute. Take your cowboy hat and shove it all up in that ass, Carol. Do you understand? Okay. Hey, I just talk, I'm from New Mexico, man. Like I told the guys in that biker dude. Hey, you're the boyfriend. No, it ain't like that. I'm from New Mexico. It's not like that. I'll just protect my friends. Like what happened to me with Coach Johnson's nephew in the bench. I don't compliment you on, wow, that's pretty impressive on how much weight you can lift. You calling me a joto? Okay, which part of your body do you want to get your head bounced off first in this fucking weight room? I'm going to beat your ass all over this weight room. That's what I told him. He was like 235. I was like $160. I told him, which piece of weight equipment do you want to bounce your noggin off first? Well, then you need to apologize and be respectful to me the way I was respectful to you. And the coach, we don't do that around here. In New Mexico, where I'm from, you don't start shit and not back it up. And Kaforis and Allen are going, we need this kid on our football team. This is the type of attitude we need on our football team. We need a kid that respects, comes in and gives respect. And then when people don't give respect, you say, hey, don't start none, won't be none. Okay. I didn't invent soul and I'm not the godfather of it. Okay. All right. Okay. And these fucking therapists on the Kardashians, they drive you mad. It's like, well, mentally accept the rape, get some drugs, get some, get repaired at the local body repair shop. Do not in any way, shape, or form stand up for the truth of Proverbs and have the wisdom enough to submit to the faith of Psalms. By all means, don't get caught being somebody intelligent. If you can't make $1 million passing it off as mythological bullshit on TV, something's really wrong with you. There's something really wrong, yeah. I'm out of order, you're out of order, we're all out of order, right? Trust me. Even if, quote, nobody's watching these, everybody who thinks there's somebody with a computer system that they think the other computer system's going to kill them before the other is watching these. And when we're all living the Lord's Prayer someday, because we make it to the future, you're going to have to ask yourself, where do you want to be all on that day? I like Nina Simone songs too. Doom. Anybody else like Sinner Man? Well, if you don't think you need to live the Lord's Prayer here on earth for your children to live the love of the Lord, you might want to go listen to Nina Simone sing Sinner Man. Listen to the 10-minute version. You might need that. All right, peace out.